Very good morning, students. Am I audible? Okay, let's start our today's session. Today is the last method for higher order ordinary differential equation, and this is again most IMP method as variation of parameter method, which we learn in our last lecture, right? So this, let's start. Method of undetermined coefficients. This method can be used to find the particular integral if any linearly independent derivatives of qx are finite in number. This restriction implies that qx means what? Qx means the right side of the given differential equation can only have the terms such as k. K means what? Any constant term. X raised to n, e raised to ax, sin ax, cos ax, and combination of such terms where k and a are constant and n is a positive integer. Students, this line is most important line when you can apply this method when your right hand side of the given differential equation is constant term, exponential term, a trigonometry term of sine or cos, or combination of those terms, right? This one, combination of such terms. Then and only then you can apply this method. When your qx, your right hand side is 1 by x or 10x or sec x, etc. This method fails such each function has infinite number of linearly independent derivatives. Okay, so please keep in mind you can apply your method of undetermined coefficient when your qx is finite number in derivatives, right? So let's start. See this one. Here, the most important thing in this method, again we find two solutions. One is CF and other is PI. CF is the same method, okay? But for PI, here we have to decide the particular integral, and that is the most important. This slide is most important for this method. When your right hand side qx means right hand side, when your right hand side is k e raised to ax, at that time you have to write your particular integral as a e raised to ax. Why? See students, here see, suppose whatever your differential equation is there and your right hand side is 2 e raised to x, right? When your right hand side is 2 e raised to x, and if you want to write your particular integral, then your particular integral be y equal to, you have to write like this: a is any constant, e raised to x. Why? See, the derivative of e raised to x is what? First we have to generate family of our right hand side. We have to neglect the multiple constant term, right? Multiple of constant. Here the multiple of e raised to x is 2. So we neglect this 2. Now the family of e raised to x is what? E raised to x itself. Then the derivative of e raised to x is again e raised to x. Derivative of e raised to x is again e raised to x. In the family of e raised to x, there is only one member, and that is e raised to x only. So we have to write our particular integral like y equal to a e raised to x. See this one here. Here, when our qx is like this, k e raised to ax, then we have to write our particular integral a e raised to x. when our qx right hand side is k sine ax or k cos ax plus b. K is any constant. At that time, we have to write our particular integral a sin ax plus b or plus a sin ax plus b plus cos ax plus b, right? Why like this? Because if we take our right hand side, see, suppose our right hand side is this one. Suppose our right hand side is 2 sine 2 sine 3x, right? Here our k is 2. K is the multiple of sine. So we neglect this 2. We generate the family of sine 3x. So in the family of sine 3x itself, then the derivative of sine 3x is what, students? 3 cos 3x. If we again write the derivative of cos 3x, that is minus 9 sine 3x. Again, the derivative of sine 3x is minus 27 cos 3x. Okay. So, in the family of, if we neglect this multiple constant term, then in the family of this sine 3x, there is only two members, sine 3x and cos 3x. Okay. So, when our right hand side of the given differential equation is in the form of sine, we have to write our particular integral y is equal to a sine 3x. You may also write a1 plus a2 cos 3x, right? See students, see carefully. We have to generate family of our right hand side, and in the family of our right hand side, in the family of qx, there are two different terms. One is sine and other is cos. So we'll put our particular integral like a1 sine 3x plus a2 cos 3x. You may also write a sine 3x plus b cos 3x. Here a1, a2 or a and b are constant term. So in this is the second. When we'll take first fourth one. When our right hand side is k x raised to n. X raised to n means it is a polynomial form in x. So if your right hand side is, this one is your given differential equation, is equal to, suppose you have 4x square, right? Your right hand side is 4x square. So we have to put the family of x square with the help of its derivative and itself. So in the family, we neglect this 4. In the family of x square itself, then the derivative of x square is what, student? 2x. And then again the derivative of 2x is what? 2 only, right? So we may also write that 2 into 1. So if we neglect this multiple, now the different member of x square is what? For the particular integral, I put here ax square. The other member is x. So plus bx. And the third member is constant. Only one is there. So I put here only c. You may also write a1x square plus a2x plus a3. Okay. Suppose, just a minute. Okay. Suppose your given differential equation is equal to, if your right hand side is 5x cube. Okay. 5x cube. So here for the particular integral, we have to write our y like First, we have to generate its family. So what is the family of this x cube? X cube itself. Then the derivative of x cube is 3x square. Then 6x. Then the derivative of this 6x is 6 into 1, right? So if we neglect this multiple constant term, there are total 4 members. X cube, x square, x, and this constant term. So I have to write my particular integral like ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus fourth constant is d. You may also write here a1x cube, a2x square, a3x plus a4. Got it? Now, if your right hand side is like this, e raised to x, exponential term into sine or cos, into exponential term into sine term or cos term. At that time, you have to write like, suppose your differential equation is equal to 6 e raised to 2x sine 3x, right? This is the exponential term into sine term. At that time, your family of this one, here the derivative of e raised to 2x, that is 2 e raised to 2x. So in the family of e raised to 2x, there is only one member, e raised to 2x. And in the family of sine 3x, there are two members, sine 3x plus cos 3x, right? Just a minute. In the family of e raised to 2x, there is only e raised to 2x. In the family of sine 3x, sine 3x plus cos 3x, right? So, we have to multiply the family of e raised to 2x with the family of sine 3x. So, we have two different members. One is e raised to 2x sine 3x. Another member is e raised to 2x cos 3x. So, for the particular integral, I have to write a e raised to 2x sine 3x plus b e raised to 2x cos 3x. Okay. So, this is the method how this step is most important, how you have to write your particular integral with the help of your given qx or given right hand side of the differential equation. Suppose your differential equation is equal to e raised to x into x square. Okay. Now I'm going to unmute any one of you. Now tell me what is the family or how to write the particular integral of if our right hand side is like this. Okay. So ready everyone? And if you know the answer, raise your hand. Okay. You may also write your answer in chat box and you may raise your hand. X square is one member. Okay. Yes, Abhay, you are partially right. And Atharva, you are also partially right. Anyone? Thanks for trying your answer. See, students, if you want to generate Trupti, constant term is missing there. Devendra, again, constant term is missing there. See, I am telling you, see, listen carefully. See, students, there are two members. One is exponential term, other is x square. Both are in the form of the multiplication, right? So first I put the family of e raised to x, and family of e raised to x is what, students? E raised to x itself, right? Now for the family of x square, what is the family of x square? X square itself. Then the derivative of x square is what, students? 2x. And the derivative of 2x, that is 2 into 1, that is constant term. So in the family of x square, there are total 3 terms. What one? X square, x and 1. Got it? X square, x and 1. So after multiplication, here e raised to x, family of e raised to x into x square, family of e raised to x into x, and family of e raised to x into 1. So total 3 terms are there. Okay. And I have to put the constant, that is a, b and c. Now got it everyone? Any doubt? Any doubt, students? Yes, Vansh, you are right. Okay, okay. So let's see, this is the theory portion, students, that how to write your particular integral. This is the most important. Now let's start example for the better understanding. Okay. So let's start example. See, here our question is y double dash plus 4y is equal to 8x square. Okay. And you may solve this example with shortcut method also. But if you ask solve with the undetermined coefficient method, then in this method, you have to find the two parts. One is the complementary function, other is the particular integral. So for the complementary function, let's start. D square plus 4 into y is equal to 8x square. So the auxiliary equation is what, students? M square plus 4 equal to 0, right? The multiple of y we put in the form of m. We replace capital D by m. So m square plus 4 equal to 0. So m square is equal to minus 4. So if we take square root both the side, square root of m square is m and square root of 4 is plus or minus 2 and square root of this minus 1 is I. So our roots are complex. And as our roots are complex, our complementary function is c1 sine 2x plus c2 cos 2x. So one part is complete, that is the complementary function. Now this for the particular integral, listen carefully. Let's start with q. Q means what? Our given differential equations right hand side. So our q is 8x square. Okay. Now we have to write the particular integral with the help of this q. We have to write particular integral. Let the particular integral be. See, this is the particular integral. Y equal to this one a1x square plus a2x plus a3. Okay, why I put this like this? See, what is our right hand side, students? Our right hand side is 8x square. So if I neglect this multiple 8 for the family of x square, there are total 3 members. X square itself, derivative of x square, and this derivative of 2x, right? So if I neglect this multiple, there are 3 terms, x square, x and 1. So in the family of 8x square, there are 3 terms. So for the particular integral, a1 x square, a2x and a3 into 1. So a3. Got it? This is our assumed particular integral. Got it? This is our assumed particular integral. I put it is as y. Now dy. Dy means what? Derivative of this y. So derivative of this y is 2a1x and derivative of a2x, that is just a2, and the derivative of a3 is constant term. So the derivative of a3 is 0. Again, we'll take the derivative d square y. So the derivative of dy, that is d square y, and here 2a1. Okay, so we have y, dy and d square y. Now, substituting these derivatives in the given equation, we have to substitute this derivative in the given equation, and given equation is what? This one. Sorry. Given equation is what, students? D square y into 4y. right? So for the given equation, the value of d square y plus 4y, that is, this one is, what is d square y? D square y is 2y, 2a1. So this is d square y plus 4, and this is the value of y, this one, this y. Okay. So d square y plus 4y is equal to 8x square. Got it, everyone? We have to just substitute these derivatives, d square y and y, in the given differential equation. So after simplification, 2a1 plus 4a1x square plus 4a2x plus 4a3. So if I separate all the terms in the power of x square, like terms, so this 4a1x square is my first term, then 4a2x, and this 2a1 and this 4a3, both are constant term. So I put together. This is just x multiple of x square term, this one is the multiple of x term, and this one is the constant term. Got it, everyone? Okay. So if I compare both the side, by comparing coefficients on both the side, see what is the coefficient of x square in left hand side. So coefficient of x square in left hand side is 4a1, and coefficient of x square right hand side is 8. So 4a1 is equal to 8, right? So a1 is equal to what? 2. Similarly, multiple of x is what? 4a2. So 4a2, and right hand side multiple of x is 0. So here 4a2 equal to 0. So again a2 equal to 0. And for the last constant term, here 2a1 plus a3, right hand side there is no constant term. So 2a1 plus a3 equal to 0. So here, by substituting the value of a2, if I a1, if I put here 2, then 2 into 2, so this one is a1 is 2, right? So this one is minus 4, not 1. Okay. This one is minus 4. So if I substitute this value a1, a2 and a3 in this particular integral, a1, a2 and a3 in this particular integral, then the value of a1 is 2, a2 is 0 and a3 is minus 4. So this is 2x square minus 4. This is my final particular integral. Hence the general solution is CF plus PL. One more student, that is, when you generate your particular integral, one thing is important there. You have to remind that there should be no common term between these y and CF. See, in CF, there are sine and cos, and in y, there is x square, x and 1. So that is the most important thing. There should be no common term between y and CF. If there is common term, then what to do? We'll see in next example. Okay. Okay. Any doubt, students? What happened? What happened? Okay. So, no doubt. Let's move with one more example. Okay. When d square y plus dx square plus 2 dy by dx plus 4y is equal to 2x square plus 3 e raised to minus x. What is the difference? Here, two terms in the right hand side, right? One is x square and other is e raised to minus x. But for the solution, first we have to find the complementary function. And for that, d square plus 2d plus 4 into y is equal to 2x square plus 3 e raised to minus x. So the auxiliary equation is what? Auxiliary equation is m square plus 2m plus 4 equal to 0. So after factorization, what are the roots? M is equal to minus 1 plus or minus root 3i. Okay. As roots are complex, so complementary function is what, students? Our complementary function is e raised to minus x cos c1 cos root 3x e raised to c2 sine root 3x. Right? So what is the CF? Final CF is C1 e raised to minus x cos root 3x and C2 e raised to minus x cos. One student has doubt. Wait a minute. How will we know whether to solve a question using shortcut method, method of parameter, or method of undetermined coefficient? Okay, Akhilesh. When you ask to solve, you have to, if you have to ask just to solve, then you may apply any method, whichever is applicable. You may apply shortcut method, variation of parameter method, and undetermined coefficient method. Suppose in these example, right? For particular these example, you may apply shortcut method as well as method of undetermined coefficient and variation of parameter method. But if you ask solve with particular method, in exam they will ask solve with variation of parameter method, or they ask solve with undetermined coefficient method. At that time you have to apply whatever method they ask. Got it? But suppose your right hand side is like this, whatever differential equation is there, and your right hand side is tan 2x. Okay, Akhilesh, then what to do? You didn't apply shortcut method as well as undetermined method. For tan, for sec, for logarithm, you just apply variation of parameter method. At that time, suppose they didn't ask to solve with variation of parameter method, but as your right hand side is tan, sec, or logarithm, at that time you have to apply variation of parameter method. Right? When your right hand side is e raised to x into sine 2x like this. Okay. At that time again, you didn't apply, you can apply shortcut method, case 4, as well as undetermined coefficient method. So if they ask simply solve, then it is up to you. But if they ask solve with the undetermined coefficient method, then you have to apply just undetermined coefficient method only. Okay. See, for this example, here, m square plus 2m plus 4 equal to 0. So m is equal to minus 1 plus or minus root 3i complex, and our CF is e raised to minus x c1 cos root 3x plus c2 sin root 3x. Now, Q. Q is the right hand side of the given ordinary differential equation, and that is 2x square plus 3e raised to minus x. Okay. So, let's start the particular integral. Now for the particular integral, our right hand side is what, students? Here two terms is there. One is x square and other is e raised to minus x. So for the family of x square, listen carefully, this is the different thing. For the family of x square, there are total 3 members. 2x square itself, then the derivative of x square is 2x, and the derivative of x is 1. So there are total 3 members, x square, x, and 1, right? And the family of e raised to minus x, so in the family of e raised to minus x, there is only one member, and that is e raised to minus x only, right? So our fourth member is e raised to minus x. We we have to not to multiply these e raised to minus x with this term. Why? Because there is plus sign between these two terms. So we have to write different family, a family of x square with x square x and 1, and the family of e raised to minus x by e raised to minus x itself. So for the particular integral here, a1x square, a2x plus constant term a3. This is about the family of x square. And a4 e raised to minus x. This is the family of e raised to minus x. Got it, everyone? Any doubt about this particular integral? Let me know in the chat box. If you have no doubt, then also tell me that no doubt. If you have any doubt, you may ask. Okay. Thank you. Okay, answers are coming that no doubt, but I want the response from all of you. Only 10 to 15 students have given their response. What about else? Okay, thank you for your response. So, more answers are coming that they have no doubt, right? So, let's move ahead. Now, the derivative of y, that is dy by dx, is 2a1x plus a2. The derivative of this constant term a3 is 0. And here the derivative of e raised to minus x is minus e raised to minus x. So, minus a4 e raised to minus x. This is the dy by dx. So, capital also may write capital dy, right? And this is capital d square y, second derivative. Now substituting these derivatives in the given equation. And what is our given equation? Our given equation is this: d square y plus 2dy plus 4y. So first I have to write the value of d square y plus 2 into dy. So this is d square y, right? So d square y is what? This one. This is the value of okay. So this is the value of d square y plus 2 into 2 into dy and the last 4 into y, right? So d square y 2 into dy plus 4 into y is equal to, your right hand side is 2x square plus 3 e raised to minus x. Okay. After simplification, the multiple of e raised to minus x, this one is 4, just a4, and this one is 4a4, and here is minus 2a4. So after simplification, multiple of e raised to minus x is just 3a4. Multiple of x square is 4a1. Multiple of x is 4a1 plus 4a2. These are the constant term. Constant term is this one, 2a1 plus 2a2 and 4a3. Right hand side, keep it the same. Okay, now what to do? Our next step is we have to compare both the sides, right? So the multiple of e raised to minus x, that is 3a4. And here the multiple of e raised to minus x is 3. Let's start. Now comparing coefficient on both the sides. So multiple of this e raised to minus x on left hand side is 3a4 and right hand side is 3. So 3a4 is equal to 3, right? So 3a4 is equal to 3. So a4 is equal to 1. Next, multiple of x square. X square is 4a1 and here multiple of x square is 2. So 4a1 is equal to 2. So a1 is equal to 1 half. For the constant multiple of x, 4a1 plus a2. So here if we take 4 common, then a1 plus a2 is equal to 0. So a2 is equal to minus a1 and value of a2 is minus 1 half. And for the constant term, 2a1 plus 2a2 plus 4a3, a3 is equal to 1 half a1 plus a2, a1 is 1 half, a2 is minus 1 half. So value of a3 is 0. By substituting, this is the value of a4, this is the value of a1, this one is a2, and this one is a3. So by substituting all these value in the particular integral, and what is our assumed particular integral? This one. So after substituting all values a1, a2, a3, a4 in this equation, we'll get our final particular integral, and this is 1 half x square minus 1 half x plus e raised to minus x. And the general solution is this one. This is the complementary function, and this one is the particular integral. Again, students, most important thing is when you assume your particular integral and when you write your assumed particular integral, make sure that there is no common term between your assumed particular integral and your complementary function. So what is your complementary function, students? Your complementary function is this, is right. So in your complementary functions, multiple of C1 is what? E raised to minus x cos root 3x. And C2 is e raised to minus x sin root 3x. And in your assumed particular integral, there is x square x, constant term, and e raised to minus x. So all terms, assume particular integral and these complementary functions, all are different. There is no common term, right? And it is compulsory that there should be no common term. Okay. Now let's move. Any doubts, students, about this example or till that example for today's lecture? If you have any doubt, you may ask. One student has doubt. Can you please explain the substitution of values again? Okay, sure. See, this is the value of y, dy, and d square y, right? So we'll substitute this value of y, dy, and d square y in the given differential equation. And what is that? Sorry. See, we have to substitute our values in these equation. Right? And in this equation, if we split this bracket, what we have? Our first term is d square y. Second term is 2 dy. Third term is 4y. And right hand side is what? 2x square plus 3 e raised to minus x, right? Okay. So d square y, I put the value of d square y first, plus 2 into dy plus 4y, right? From this. Okay. So we'll put all the values d square y, dy, and y in this equation. This one is d square y plus 2 into dy plus 4 into y. Then I just separate all the terms likewise and dislikewise. Okay. For likewise term, okay. For likewise term, I put all e raised to minus x, then the multiple of x square, multiple of x, and constant term separately. Okay, got it. So, any doubts, students? Okay, no doubt. So, we'll move for next example, and that is, see students, all these example from the previous GTU question paper, right? So all are most important examples, and I have tried to take different right hand sides examples. So this one is different kind of examples. So let's start. D cube plus 3d square plus 2d into y is equal to x square plus 4x plus a. The auxiliary equation is m cube plus 3m square plus 2m equal to 0. Here, if I get m common, Then the remaining term is what? M square. If I get m common, then remaining term is m square plus 3m plus 2 equal to 0, right? So the factor of this m square plus 3m plus 2 is what? M plus 1 and m plus 2. Okay. So the roots are 0, minus 1, minus 2. Power of b is 3 here. So we have total 3 roots. All are real and distinct. So complementary function is c1 e raised to 0x, but e raised to 0 is 1, so no need to write that. c1, here c2 e raised to minus x, and c3 e raised to minus 2x. Okay. First part is complete. Your right hand side part, x square plus 4x plus 8. So our assumed particular integral is what, students? So our assumed particular integral is, listen carefully everyone, there are total 3 terms, right? So our first term, x square. So for family of x square is what? As you all know, family of x square is x square, x and 1, right? In the family of, for the second term, family of x is x itself and 1. And 8 is any constant. 8 is constant. So family of 8, that is, in that family there is only one member, and that is 1. So if I put all family members of the right hand side, my particular integral is x square, x and 1. See, this x is already here and this constant term is already here, right? So no need to write this again. Family of my right hand side, total family of my right hand side, there is only 3 terms, and that is x square, x and 1. So here a1x square, a2x and a3 constant term. This is my assumed particular integral. Got it everyone? Any doubt? Any doubt, students, for this assumed particular integral? Okay. So see, one thing is there. What is the condition? Our condition is there should be no common term between the assumed particular integral and constant term. Is there any common term between this CF and this assumed particular integral? See, yes, there is one common term. This C1 is constant here. And in assumed particular integral, A3 is again constant. So, since the constant occur in QX and is also a part of CF, right? See, it means there is one common term between this CF. Yes, Siddharth, you are right. So, one common term. So, listen carefully, everyone. When there is any common term between this CF and your assumed particular integral, you have to multiply your assumed particular integral by x. Got it? You have to multiply your assumed particular integral by x. So what is your new assumed particular integral? So if we multiply this by x, so our new assumed particular integral is this, a1x cube, a2x square plus a3x. Got it? See, this is if I multiply by this x, then x cube, this is x square, and this one is x term. Now there is no common term between new assumed particular integral and this CF. In CF there is constant term e raised to minus x and e raised to minus 2x. And new assumed particular integral is x cube, x square and x. So all terms are different. So this is our final assumed particular integral. Got it everyone? Okay. Now the derivative of this y is dy. So derivative of second derivative of this dy is d square y, and the derivative of this d square y is d cube y. Now substituting these derivatives in the given equation. So in which we have to substitute? We have to substitute in our given differential equation, and that is this. This is d cube y plus 3d square y plus 2 dy, right? So this is the value of d cube y. This one is d cube y. 3 d square y plus 2 dy. Right hand side is keep it the same, x square plus 4x plus 8. After separate likewise term, we have 6a1 x square. Multiple of x is 18a1 plus 4a2. All these are constant term, right? And x square plus 4x plus 8, keep it the same. Now comparing both the side, 6a1 x multiple of x square is 6a1 and our right hand side is 1, right? So 6a1 is equal to 1. So a1 is equal to 1 by 6. For the multiple of x, 18a1 plus 4a2, right hand side is 4. So after simplification, value of a2 is 1 by 4. And similarly, by comparing constant on both the side, value of a3 is 11 by 4. So our particular integral is this. And the general solution is complementary function plus particular integral. Now got it, students? If there is any common term between your complementary function and your assumed particular integral, you have to multiply your assumed particular integral by x. Okay. Suppose by multiplying x, again some term is common between your CF and your new assumed particular integral. You have to multiply again with x till your all terms are different for the complementary function and for new assumed particular integral, right? Till you get all different terms, then that is your final assumed particular integral. Any doubt, students? Any doubt about this example? If you have any doubt, let me ask. If you have no doubt, give your response that you have no doubt. Okay. Okay, thank you. Answers are coming that they have no doubt. Thank you, students. Let's move with one more and final example. See, suppose your given question is d square minus 2d into y is equal to e raised to x sin x. Now, anyone tell me the final complementary function? I want just final answer. No need to write the middle terms. I want just raise your hand, students, or let me know in the chat box. Yes, Siddharth, you are right. Anyone? Okay, Devanshi, Unnati, good. Abhay, good, good. Jignesh, Neil, Bansi, thank you, students. Okay, thank you who are trying to solve this sum. See, this is your auxiliary equation is m square minus 2m. So if I get m common, so m into m minus 2, right? As m into m minus 2. So two different roots are there, 0 and 2, and both are real and distinct. That's why our complementary function is c1 and c2 e raised to 2x. Okay. Now our right hand side is what, student? Our right hand side is e raised to x sin x, right? So what is our assume complementary function, assume particular integral? I want my assume particular integral. Okay, I am going to unmute randomly. Kunj Patel, I am going to unmute you. Tell me what is our assume particular integral. Kunj. Kunj, are you there?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what is our assume particular integral, Kunj, for this example.
1 minute, ma'am.
Okay. as we have running short of time, Kunj, see there are two terms in the multiplied form, e raised to x and sin x, right? So the family of e raised to x is e raised to x, and the family of sin x, there are two different terms, Kunj, sin and cos, right? Sin and cos. So we multiply family of e raised to x with family of sin x. And we have two different terms, e raised to x sin x and e raised to x cos x. So our final assumed particular integral, that is, see this one, a1 e raised to x sin x plus a2 e raised to x cos x. Okay, this is our dy. This one is our d square y. Substituting the derivatives dy and d square y in the given differential equation, we get after simplification this one equation, last one, and by comparing coefficient on both the side, value of a1 is minus 1/2, value of a2 equal to 0. If I substitute my value of a1 and a2 in the assumed particular integral, this is my final particular integral, and this is the general solution, CF plus PI. Okay, students. So this is the last lecture of the higher order ordinary differential equation, students. We this subject this chapter contained 26% weightage of the whole GTU syllabus. 26, right? So more than 1/4%. Got it? So if you have any doubt, any query, you may ask through by call or by telegram also. Okay. So if you have no doubt, you may leave today's session. And if you have doubt, you may ask.